Welcome back to the Daily Horror Cast. Today, we're reading two-sentence horror stories. Try not to get scared.
Alright, starting off with our first one. We got it from username Eratus23. Mark yelled at his dog, who was excitedly barking and jumping at the front door. His yell trailed off when he realized it was the police and ambulance crew coming up the front steps to finally get his weeks-old body.
Nice.
Okay, so he's a ghost.
Yep, he's a ghost.
He's a ghost, and he didn't realize it.
Yep. That's a good one. I like
1 to
that.
10?
6.
I am going to give it the same rating.
6 feels good.
It's just mid.
Yeah.
A little barely over mid.
All right, number 2 come from Jacob Bozat. After listening to loud pop music for 2 hours as my girlfriend was getting ready, I went to go and check on her. All I found was her mauled body next to her pet chimp.
Nice.
It's so aggressive.
Why was he listening to loud pop music for 2 hours as his girlfriend was getting ready?
I don't know.
That feels like an egregious amount of time
Why
for
do-
your
why do
girlfriend
they
to
have a
get
pet
ready without
chimp?
you checking on her. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. That's a fire story, though. I'm going to give it a 7.
I also was going to give it a 7. Yeah,
Just
no,
because it's just goofy enough where it gets that extra point, where it's just 1 point above that last one, I think.
Exactly. No, that's a 7 for sure.
I have a feeling that a lot of these stories that we're going to be reading on this are going to be like people trying to make serious two-sentence horror stories, and it just ends up being ridiculous.
100%.
But it's not meant to be funny, but it's going to be funny.
100%.
Unfortunately. Or maybe fortunately, because, I mean, I enjoy the sillies.
Yeah.
All right, we got our next one now from username Past Celebration 335 or 9335, sorry.
Yes.
As my dad counted down from 3 and tossed me from the pier, I tried to tell him how scared I was of going in the water. But my muscular dystrophy often made it hard to form words. I'm also having a hard time forming words right now.
Yeah, that was a
One's
crazy
just
story.
that
That's
one's just sad.
Yeah.
That one's just sad.
I give
Like,
that one a 4 for being sad.
That's not really a good horror story. That's like an
actual
Ouch.
horror story.
Yeah, that's a genuine horror story, but like in the saddest way possible.
Yeah.
That's something you hear on the news, and like you're mad at the dad, but at the same time you're just super sad for that kid.
Yeah,
I don't like that one.
no. 4.
I'm gonna give it a 2.
I just gave it a 4 because it's sad. And it's
It's
actual
very sad.
horror.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
Alright.
for the way it's making me feel, I guess I give it a 6.
Holy moly.
But it's just sad.
Alright, so coming back to user Eratus23, I've been feeding a sickly fox for over a year now, and it looks much better now. When I told it no more food, it stood up on its hind legs with a growing smirk, told me, just one more meal. That's crazy.
All right, so is that one a skinwalker?
Oh, man.
Or yeah, it's a skinwalker or something
It's
like
gotta
that.
be.
That one's pretty funny because I don't even imagine it as a skinwalker. I just imagine it as still a fox, and it just stands up in perfect English. Not even a creepy voice, just one more meal, please.
Oh, the username of the next story. Anyways, yeah, so I give that one a 5.
Okay, 5's fair. I'm gonna give it a. I'm gonna also go with a 5. I think
Nice.
that's a fair rating.
Nice.
Mid, right in the mid category.
I have yet to see one that's truly bad, but I've also yet to see one that's like truly good. You know?
Mm-hmm. And I mean that's fair because we literally are just scrolling through. Oh my gosh, we are
That's
just
funny.
scrolling through Reddit and seeing like what's on here. And
Exactly.
It's
This is just the
just
top
Reddit.
or whatever.
It's just Reddit user posts.
This is all the
Let's be
newest
real.
ones too, so it's not
Yeah.
like they're even voted as good or not.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We got the next one
You're
here
on this.
by Trans Ghost Boy
2.
2. Yeah, Trans Ghost Boy the second.
Exactly.
If a woman bled on her wedding night, that was proof she was a virgin. As the new bride watched her husband bleed out in paralyzed horror, she truly wished he'd picked a spot to cut that wasn't his upper thigh. Her horror wasn't worth his life.
Her honor.
Her honor wasn't worth his life. Sorry. Okay, that makes more sense now that that's honor and not
Yeah.
horror. My bad.
So she's a hoe?
She's apparently a and he was trying to cover it up. With supposedly a super deep cut instead of like a nice little paper cut on his finger. He decides to go with a super deep cut on his thigh.
Yeah, I don't know.
How would anyone else tell the difference?
I feel like it's a good story, but just doesn't make sense in my brain.
Well, it just doesn't make sense at all.
So, 2.
Like, he's trying to cover it up, but from who?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's
2.
just bad. I'm going to give it a 1.
All right. From user Fragrant Macaron 6359. I woke up to the worst bedhead this morning. Straight teeth. Okay.
10.
That's a 10.
That's
Enough
a 10.
said.
That's a perfect... That's a dad joke right there.
Exactly.
That's a dad joke.
That is a dad
I
joke.
love that.
That's not even a
That is
2-sentence
awesome.
horror story. That's just comedy.
That is pure comedy. I like that.
Yeah. Crazy. 10.
10, without a doubt. The first good story.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Moving on. I can't read that username. What does it say?
I don't know. Huxingen?
Whatever. I woke up on the 5th of November. Orange Man is president. Okay.
Oh, man.
So that's like one of those Twitter posts that AI reads out loud
Exactly.
on like meme pages, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's exactly what that is.
Exactly.
The wording and phrasing is perfect. It's like a child wrote it.
This just reminds me of, like, you just gotta say it in a Redditor voice, like, I woke up on the 5th of November. Orange Man is president.
Exactly. It needs to be done in like a childlike grown adult voice.
If a Redditor were to say this, 10.
100%. That one was pretty funny.
Yeah, I'll give it a 7.
Not quite as funny as the dad joke in the last one.
No, not even close, dude. Straight teeth? Nah.
I'm gonna give it a.
No, I'm going 8.
I'm gonna give it a 6.
I'm going 8.
Yeah, you go 8.
Just
I go 6.
I read it
as a 7.
Discord
anyways.
moderator.
That's a fair point.
All right. From username LadyEnd01. Humans are naturally afraid of the unknown, leading them to higher powers for explanations. I just think it's so much funnier watching them panic and beg than it would be to answer them. So it's the perspective of God.
Yeah. This one was obviously written by a Sigma that thrives off the pain of people.
Yeah.
I love it. You know, they're just pulling the strings and they're puppets.
Exactly.
So I appreciate that.
Give me a 7.
I'm going to give it a... Honestly, it's actually kind of fine. But it's still mid. I'm going to go 6.
All right.
Next one. What is that? Buzzerfish? Bazerfish.
Bazerfish.
From Bazerfish. I noticed my laptop wasn't charging despite being plugged in. When I pulled the plug, the socket oozed blood.
Okay. She plugged it into the dog.
I'm not.
She plugged it into the dog.
I'm not understanding. I'm honestly not. She apparently plugged it into a living being, is what happened. Which I'm kind of impressed with the force that you would have to produce in order to plug that, like a flat-ended outlet into a flesh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a 10.
I am gonna go 9. Because it still doesn't compare to
Genuinely,
bedhead straight teeth.
Genuinely, it doesn't make sense, so I'm gonna give it a 4.
I'm still going 9 because she plugged it into the dog.
I'm gonna give it a 4. It doesn't make sense.
All right, and the last one, I'm skipping this one because that's stupid.
Okay, fair enough.
All right.
Oh my gosh, that one is... I like it, though.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Username
Another Sigma.
Wade wrote words. As the archaeologists examined the 2,000-year-old fossil, its story unfolded. It seems this human perished in the first bombings of World War III back in 2025. I like that.
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
Set in the year 4025, looking back.
So it's another one of those like archaeologists from the perspective of someone from the future, looking at what could possibly be our future, you know?
Yeah.
AKA their history.
Exactly.
So that's kind of fun. I like that.
I like that. Give me an 8.
I'll go with I'll go with an 8 as well.
Yeah.
That's
Give me
pretty
an
good.
8. That's been this installment of 2-sentence horror stories.
Yeah. Let us know which one your favorite was.
Yeah. Write your own in the comments. We'll read them. But yeah, if you liked the video, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, ring the bell. Do it all. And hey, listen to Spotify. We're on there now.
Mm-hmm. Stay tuned to what we have coming up next.
Exactly.
I'm not going to tell you what it is because I don't know what it is.
Exactly. But we'll find out as soon as you find out.
Exactly.
But, you know, this has been 2-sentence horror stories. Peace.
Peace.